We're gonna be making bruschetta. Okay, so the ingredients we need are some very delicious olive oil. We also have some tomatoes. I like big tomatoes and some small tomatoes. I like to mix them up. I also have some shallots, parmigiana. Sorry, no offense to anyone Italian. I'm the furthest thing away from being Italian. Bread, sourdough. You can get a baguette as well. And I have some fresh basil. Oh yeah. And salt, pepper, and that's it. Let's get started. So first of all, I have a big bowl right here and I'm gonna chop up my tomatoes into small pieces. So I'll start with this big one. And once again, I have pre-washed all of my vegetables. Ugh, there we go. With my ozone machine, which I love to do before I put everything in the fridge. Actually, my tomatoes I keep on the counter though. So I like to cut it in half. So my mom made a bruschetta over the holidays and I loved it so much, but it was a packaged bruschetta. And I was like, you know what? I can probably make something just as good at home with the ingredients that I want to use. So I made it, and let me tell you, Chris was over the moon about it. In fact, I made it a few days in a row. So you can make this also a few days ahead of time. I feel like a day or two ahead of time, it'll like really embed itself in the juices of the flavor. But today we're just gonna make it and cook it and eat it. So whatever you want. I always like to do a little bit of food prep, especially when I have like people coming over or I know I'm not gonna have time later. I think it's important to put yourself in the best possible position. Okay, so as you can see, I'm just chopping this up into little pieces. Little pieces. There's a helicopter. They found me. Gotta go. Oh, they're just here for Sue's. Oh, and speaking of Sue's, have you noticed I'm wearing some Sue's apparel? That's right. Sue's apparel can be found on my website, cindybusby.com, in the store section. And it's a fan favorite, if I do say so myself. In fact, the other day I was at the coffee shop and I had Sue's with me and I was wearing one of her shirts and someone like kind of did a double take where they were looking at me and looking at her shirt and I was like, that's right, it's Susie. Double whammy. You can never have too much Susie is what I'm saying. Okay, I got my little handy pooper scooper here. It's not really a pooper scooper, but it's kind of funny to say that. And I'm just gonna put all of the tomatoes in there. And like, it's kind of good if they kind of get like mashed up because you want it to be like juicy. So now I'm gonna take some of my small tomatoes. Tomato or tomato? Tomato, tomato. Make your own rules. Here we go. We've got a little mishmash right here. I'm gonna leave it at that. Next up, I am going to cut my shallot. You can use any kind of onion that you want. You can use a yellow onion, red onion, but I find these to be like really flavorful and sweet, and they just bring out the best flavor. You know who's gonna be happy is my husband when he comes home. The fact that I made this, he's gonna be like, hey, can you keep making this? Can you keep doing recipe videos so that I can keep enjoying all of these recipes that you keep making? Someone's real lucky around here, right, Suze? Nope, still not here. Okay, so the shallots are chopped, boom. And now we're gonna chop some basil. All right, so this is in here. I'm going to put some olive oil. And I do love me some good olive oil. And just like, you know, 3-4 dollops. I've got some salt. Don't judge me. And some pepper. Boom. That's it. That's all you got. So now we're gonna mix it up. We're gonna put it to the side, and we're gonna prep the bread. We're gonna prep the bread, and we'll be right back. Okay, so I've got some sourdough, but again, you can use a baguette. You can use whatever kind of bread that you want to use. Some really high-grade olive oil, which I'm gonna just kind of like dollop onto the bread here. I just washed my hands. Okay. This is just gonna go all over. Then I just kind of use my fingers. I rub it into the bread like so, give it a little massage, you know. Breads like massages too. Then I'm also gonna use some salt on the bread. Yes, that's right, I'm using salt again. And then I'm gonna take the bruschetta and I'm gonna layer it on to the bread like this. And if you get some of the juices on it, just leave it on there. That's the best part. You want it to be nice and juicy, like this. Oh my gosh, this is gonna be unbelievable sights, indescribable feeling. Oh boy, you know, in my kitchen, a dance and sing-along party is always welcome, okay? Also Aladdin, let's talk about that for a minute. What an epic movie! Okay, so you can put as little or as much as you want. I clearly like a lot because it's so good. Then you can kind of like make sure it's on there, flatten it out like this. Boop, boop, boop. And now I'm gonna use some Parmesan. You don't have to, if you don't like Parmesan or you don't like cheese, or you can get like a vegan Parmesan or whatever you want. And then I just kind of like sprinkle on and like this. You can buy the pre-grated. I always like to just kind of grate my own like this. Okay, and we're gonna put this in the oven. I put it at 400. It's been preheated, and I'm gonna put it in until like the bread seems nice and crispy. So probably like about 15 minutes. So we'll be back in 15 minutes. Hallelujah. Look at this. Oh, baby. I'm so excited about this. Okay, now I need to like not burn my tongue. Hopefully it's nice and crispy, but can you see the steam? Oh yeah, it's getting hot in here. So I actually left this in the oven at 400 for 20 minutes because I just want it to be like nice and crispy, you know? So I'm gonna cut it in half. Oh, do you hear that? Do you hear that? It's beautiful. I'm gonna wait a couple minutes so I don't burn my tongue, and we're gonna test her out. If you could smell what it smells like in my house right now, it's unbelievable. Okay, let's try it. If you're not making this right now, I don't even know what to tell you. I have food all up in my teeth and I don't even care because that's how good it is. Oh, it's hot, but it's worth it. Go make this. Go make this tonight.